Hello, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Growth Room with Mark Onoja, your business growth expert. And in the Growth Room, we share on how to start, grow, and scale your business. And today, we are going to be learning about how to raise capital to start a business. Now, I was saying before we went on the commercial break that we live in a world right now where there is a lot of economic downturn and a lot of persons are looking for extra source of income, right? They need are increasing, right? And inflation, of course, is also catching up with our income. So we need to actually start business. So if you're looking at starting a business, this is a good time to start a business. It's either you're looking at starting an extra business to what you're currently doing, like the extra business you're doing, or you're adding a business to your current 9 to 5. So how do you actually raise capital to start a business? So most times when I talk to startup and small business owner, the issue I always used to have is that we don't have money. We don't have capital. Where do we get capital? Where do we source capital from? Right? The banks are not giving us good rates, right? Good interest rates for the loans we want to get from them. So how do you basically raise capital? So I'm going to share with us four means of raising capital to start your business. Now, before we say that, the first thing you need to understand when it comes to this thing called business. So two things. Number one, a business basically has to do with three things. There is a need in the society. You create value, right? To create a solution to that need in terms of value, products and services, and you're being rewarded. So business has to do with three parts. So you have identified a need, specific need in the society. Number two, you create a solution to that need in terms of value. And number three, you're being rewarded. So this is the three fundamental and foundational part of a business. I'm writing a book. It will be out December 14th. It's called Business Growth Playbook. And of course, I will share with you a lot of these things are inside the book. Now, the next thing you need to note is that you don't necessarily, hear the word, necessarily need money to start a business, but you will need money to grow your business. In the fourth Tuesday of this month, I'm going to talk about raising capital to grow your business. You need money to grow your business, but starting a business, you don't necessarily need money. Now, I'm using the word necessarily in quotes, right? Because if some business you want to start, you would need money. Some, not all, but you can actually start a business without money. So, how do you actually start a business without money? So, I'm going to give you four ways. The first way you to start a business without money is that you need to start from an idea. Now, ideas basically are thoughts, and everything you see existing came from a thought, came from an idea. So, if you want to start a business, you need to start first with an idea. An idea just basically means you are coming up with solutions for a way. So, let me just give you like a practical stuff when it comes to this thing called an idea. I was speaking to some women entrepreneurs, and they were talking about oh they need a capital, they need capital to raise up their business. I said, okay, I'm going to give you guys idea. You guys want to open a store. The store is going to cost you like 500K to a 1 million naira to set up. Now, but a lot of you know how to plate air, you know how to make air, right? You know how to clean people's houses for them. Yes, and that's so they're okay. Why don't you start with making air for people and cleaning people's houses? Now, within the space of 6 months to 1 year, through financial discipline and proper financial management, you will raise the capital you need to open your store. So we started from an idea. So the idea gave us the blueprint and it gave us the path to take. So when you want to start a business, the first thing is not to just go and look for money. Of course, we'll talk about to get that capital, but the primary way you start a business, you start with an idea. So idea talks about thoughts, right? Talks about insights, talk about visions, or talk about images you have in your mind, especially thoughts. So what separates the rich from the poor and people that actually make it in life and from people that don't make it in life is that thing between our ears, our thoughts, our mindset, actually. So you need to work on your idea. So you need to get an idea. So that is it basically. If you want to start a business, the primary way to start a business by raising capital is through idea. So idea is capital. It's a very serious big capital. So that is the first one. So let's go to the second one. Now, the second way of raising capital to start a business, I'm not even talking about money right now, is through partnership. Now, when it comes to partnership, it's very interesting. Now, let me explain partnership to you. So, one of the things that a lot of startup and small businesses in Africa don't get to do is this word called partnership, right? There's a quote I usually make out there. I put it out there. I don't know. I may be the originator of the quote, but well, I usually put the quote out there that says, that the best competitive advantage for a startup and a small business is collaboration, not competition. You get better when you collaborate with people. So I'm going to give you a practical example. Now, this practical example is what we usually say. In fact, I'm going to mention two names. OLX, that was bought by Gigi, and Gigi itself, a lot of persons started it this way. So you will see people that I don't have a store, I don't have products, I don't have anything. I go to somebody that has a store, that have some products, like maybe the person have take for example some phones. I go take a picture of the person's phone, put it on Gigi, and add my own price on it. Now people go check out my phone and say, okay, this is a good phone. Contact me. I bring the person, we negotiate, I bring the person to the store, the person buys, and I get my own cut. It's called partnership. You're in business. I buy most of my clothes from Yaba. Of course, I make my clothes right now from. I have some good tailors that make my clothes for me. But when I usually used to go and buy clothes in Yaba, there's the time I went to buy clothes in Yaba. And if you go to buy clothes in Yaba, you see some evil guys that just stay along the road there, and sometimes they just harass you and just drag you. Whether you want to buy clothes or not, they'll just drag you inside. And I was dragged to my so when they dragged me, I told them I was going somewhere. They said no. I told them I was going somewhere. They have a customer's place, and they took me to my customer's place. And my customer was like, what happened? They said, they were the one that brought me. They argued. Okay, fine. So I bought some words, and the guy had to add extra money. I had like two k or three k on each of the clothes. And he told me that, say, if this guy didn't come, your clothes wouldn't have been more like this expensive. Now I understood the fact. I didn't argue because those guys were in business. All they were doing was that they were partnering. Now you can do partnership for a while, get capital, then start yours. So you can start from there, get capital, and start that. Start yours. There's an entrepreneur I respect very well, Dr. Maduka Cosmos, the owner of Coast Charish, and his story that he talked about is it started from stuff like this. How he normally used to sometimes get products from some people's shop that he doesn't have, sell, add his own markup and send back. And that, to me, that is a very good model. Right now, he has a very big business. Nobody remembers that part of the story again. It's only him that remembers that part. So partnership is the second way. So the first one is idea. You get an idea. Always work with an idea. Start from a service-based business, render services, get paid, then jump to a product-based business, right? It's called backward integration. Now, then we have partnership. Now, the third way is that you can use personal savings. I think Mr. Victor talked about personal savings. Now, personal savings is one of the way you use to raise capital to start your business. So I will encourage you, as somebody that you're looking at starting a business, for you to start savings towards it, right? I run a consulting firm. Of course, I'm looking at entering into real estate. I'm already saving towards real estate business. I'm already saving towards it. That is just the truth, because it takes a lot of capital to start doing construction and buy land and build and sell. So I'm saving towards it, right? It's a form of raising capital. So I'm saving towards it. So you need to strategically start saving. Even if you don't have a business in mind right now, start saving. Put like a 10% or a 15% or a 20% or a 5% of your income aside. Don't even a 2% or a 1%. It's just that you are obeying the principle and it gets to work. So when you save, please don't put it to your back. Put it on some fintechs but right now that give you some good return on investment. So save. So savings is a way of you raising capital to start your business. Now, when I'm going to talk about this in the fourth week, we're going to talk about how to use angel investors and stuff. I'll talk about how savings can help you attract more of angel investors. But one of the things you need to understand is that if you're looking at starting a business and you need funding for your business, when you go meet people and you tell them, so take for example, you need a 1 million naira to start a business, and you are able to save like 200 and 300,000 naira. When you go meet people and tell them that, okay, I need a 1 million naira, but I've been able to save like 200 or 300K, they'll take you serious more than somebody going to meet them and say, I want to start a business, it's a 1 million naira, and I don't have anything saved. Now, me, I won't take you serious because there is no equity contribution from you. There's no this commitment from you that this is something I really want to do and I'm committed to it. Now, the fourth way for raising capital to start your business is through grants. There are a lot of organizations that give grants. The government basically give grants too. I think I was one of the mentors of Tony Nimenu Foundation. They also give grants there too. So there are a lot of grants flying around. Go for grants. You can apply for some grants to start a business. So you can look at any of this way. One idea, I love the idea part, right? Very well. I also love the partnership part. I love your personal savings part. And of course, I also like the grant part too. So We are going to go for a very short break. When we're back, we're going to open the lines that people can get to call in. And for each and every one of these parts, I could get to also explain more as regards to it. Don't touch that die. Thank you. If you're just joining, this is Mark Onoja, and you are welcome to the Growth Room. So, the Growth Room is a platform where I teach you on how to start, grow, and scale your business. And we hold the Growth Room every second Tuesday and every fourth Tuesday of every month. And today we are talking about how to raise capital to start your business. Now, this is the point where you can call in and ask questions as regards to starting your business, or of course, growing your business, or any other part of your business. The number to call is 091 36000410. I'll take that again. The number to call is 091 36000410. So you could just place a call. I would take a live question. So I normally take live questions during the call. So back to what I'm saying as regards to raising capital to start a business. So we talked about the first one, idea. Idea has to do with thoughts, your mindset is the most important tool you have when it comes to starting a business. And next to that, most times you don't need money to start a business, but you need money to grow a business. And you can start by providing services for people where you get paid and you raise capital to start the business of your dream. In fact, most times when it comes to this thing called business or even career, you will start by doing what you don't like, so you have the competence, character, and capital and capacity to do what you actually like, right? So I started a lot by doing a lot of some things that I really really didn't like, but I don't think I needed to do that to be able to raise the capital, to be able to raise the network, to start doing what I love. So it starts with idea. So idea is premium. So anytime you pray, you have it sleep, you're walking on the road, and you something just pop up in your mind. That is a good idea. It's like God just dropped an insight for you to apply. So that is a good way to start a business. Then the next one has to do with partnership. Do you have a call? All right, fine. So the number to call in is 091 36000410. Like I said, it's a live show, so you can basically call to ask one or two questions as regards to starting, growing, or scaling your business, or you want to ask questions as regards to starting your business, you need some tip as regards to that. The number to call again is 091 36000410. Now, the next thing we also shared about is the word called partnership. So partnership is very important. And I made the statement that for a startup and a small business, your competitive advantage is collaboration. So you need to learn how to collaborate, right? Because your competitor is someone somewhere around the world, not your neighbor. So you should learn how to collaborate with people. I'm a consultant. I collaborate with a lot of other consultants. We do stuff very well. So we have a caller. Yeah, good day. Can you reduce the volume of your radio set? Hello. Okay, fine. I think we lost that call. You could still call again. The number is 091 So, like I was saying, partnership. So you need to learn how to partner with people. So sometimes when you want to start a certain kind of business, you may not need have that capital, you may not have that full competence, and you may not have that capacity to get to set everything in place, so you can then leverage on other people doing that. You can just market and sell the products and services. So you can start real estate. I sell property once in a while for persons, right? So someone has a property, they send to you, you sell, you get your commission on it. You are in real estate. In fact, when you start doing that, you're already in real estate. The time I've already started counting. So sometimes when you see some real estate firms say they are 20 years in business, if you can ask the founder, maybe he has been selling properties for people for like 10 years before he started setting his own up. So, but it's still the 20 years as counted. So you need to learn how to partner. You must not do everything by yourself. In fact, if you're doing everything by yourself, there's a major issue. You will have too much mistakes to make. Then the third one has to do with your personal money, which has to do with your savings. It's very, very important as an entrepreneur. I'm speaking to you right now, not as an individual, but as an entrepreneur, for you to have savings. So if you're working in your 9 to 5, learn how to save money. Even if you don't have intention of starting any business, go and keep the money. I don't want to call any, any names of any of the fintech stuff. They're not sponsoring yet, but go and keep money any of the fintech platform that good fintech platform, of course, get reviews online that basically give you good interest annually. Just save money there. You would have a need for it because sometimes an opportunity will come up that you would need capital for. I've lost some opportunity because I really didn't have that capital to do that, right? But learned my lessons, and of course I'll get to save going forward. And the number to call again is 09136000410. We have 10 minutes. We have 7 minutes to the end of the program, so we would need to start rounding up. And the last way I say you could get to raise capital to start your business is through grants. So grants is very important. So there are a lot of NGOs, entrepreneurs. There are a lot of ESO, called enterprise support organization, and of course the government basically provide soft loans and grants. Grants like capital given to you without a response. Okay, yeah, we have a caller. Hi, good morning. All right, Godwin, nice to meet you. Yeah. Mm. Ah. Okay, fine. I'll just give you two suggestions. I use Optimus, right? But there's Sycamore, there's Piggyvest, right? I've used all of them and they're very good. I use Optimus very well, so I basically just save my money there. It gives me interest every year. I don't. Yeah, I use Optimus. So Optimus, if you are listening, please sign me up as an ambassador. So I use Optimus. I use Optimus. You can also use Piggyvest. So just save your money there instead. Banks, normal traditional bank, don't give you good interest, and that's just the truth. That's just the truth. Yeah, I'm not calling any names, but traditional bank. So yeah, thank you for calling in. You're welcome. All right. So back to what I was saying. Grants are offered by the government so that you could basically government, social enterprises. Yes, we have another caller. Hello, hello. Can you? Okay, yeah, we lost that call.
So that one is having a network issue.
All
Yeah.
right.
So before the call comes in, because I'm a little bit interested in this conversation, very, very solid conversation, if you ask me.
Okay.
Among these four ways of raising capital to start up a business that you mentioned, talking about the idea, you having partnership,
Shape
and
your
also
personal
saving
savings.
money and grants. Which of them is the hardest
The others.
to come up with? You have we lost that call.
Okay,
But
so we
that's the
just
question I
lost the
wanted to
call.
ask. Yes, you can
So
call back on 0913632041. Okay, so
so
which of them is the
the
hardest?
the others is actually the best, which is idea. Now, the reason why I say the others is usually the best is that a lot of us, sometimes human beings, we don't really like to put ourselves out there and stress ourselves, right? Because I was having a class with some entrepreneurs over the weekend, and I told them that to market their products, actually boost their sales and stuff, they needed to get 150 leads, and a lot of them were complaining, "Yay, 150 is too much." I was like, well, that is not the best thing to do if you want to really get to push. So, idea is the hardest, but actually the best and the most efficient because if you come up with an idea, you can easily get cash quickly, right? You can actually start a business with that money by just getting idea, right? So, yeah, we have just 2 minutes or 3 minutes to go. All right, fine. So, then finally we talked about grants. So, if you're looking at starting, growing, or scaling your business, and you need to work with a consultant or a coach, I'm your go-to guy. I have over 10 years experience. I started 2007 from school, but I officially started 2014. So this is like 11 years. I've been helping people start, run, and grow their business. I was even doing analysis yesterday. We helped somebody grow a business by 100% within 2 years, right? She was doing like 10, 11 million, while I've put her in 40 million right now per month. So we have the experience in helping people grow their business. Now, the number to call is 081 6986 1467. Okay. Please, can you reduce the volume of your radio? Okay, we lost that call. All right, so the number to call is 081 6986 1467. Just send me a DM on WhatsApp or
You can
call.
take it again without
Yeah,
rushing
all right,
us.
fine. So
That's
the
your
number
personal
to
line.
call is that's my personal line actually.
Yes, so
So
they should have it.
so that's my personal line to call. If you're looking at starting your business, you want to grow your business, or you're looking at scaling to different parts of the world, we can basically help you as regards to that. The number to call is 081 6986 1467. I work basically with startup and small business owners, so I understand everything about startup. I understand everything about small business owner. I run a startup and I run a small business also too. So I understand what it means. So I would basically help you grow your business. Now, when I come again on the fourth of the fourth Tuesday in the month of September, we're going to be talking about how to raise capital to grow your business. So for existing business owner, you don't really want to miss that show because I will share with you on how you can raise capital as a business owner to actually grow your business. There's a way for that. It's different from starting a business. There is it's a bit similar, but it's very different. So I'm going to be teaching you how to do that. So, like I said, finally for today, if you want to start your business, if you're looking at growing your business or you want to scale your business and you need a consultant and an expert to work with, a startup and a small business expert, I have over a decade experience for doing this, and I really help people grow their business every other day. And I have a team. Yeah, I have a team. It's not just me alone. I have a team that work with me as regards to this. The number to call is 081 6986 1467. I repeat that again, 081 6986 1467. Thank you for joining the growth room today. See you on the fourth Tuesday in the month of September. Bye.